So I'm 24 right now. I actually got married at 22. Me and my girlfriend at the time were together for like about 3 years, about 3.5 at the time. We decided, hey, we're gonna get married. We've been together for a little bit. We really like each other, so let's go on like a little bit of like a pre-honeymoon and hang out. We went from my home state and we started traveling down Route 66. We hit up a bunch of places. We hit aquariums. It was real fun. Learned a lot of cool stuff. Got out to like Las Vegas where we got an RV and I learned some cool stuff. Like I put solar panels on top of the RV so that way like I could still use my laptop out there because I'm really electronically based. I love my laptop. I love playing video games. We even had internet and stuff. It was really cool. But we got to a point where like we were just fighting every single day, like even after we were married at this point, because we got married in Vegas. And we were staying out in the desert and whatnot. We were fighting every day and I just couldn't be within like 5 feet of her, let alone inside that same camper for a long period of time. So just start walking around the park and stuff, and like we started fighting then, and it just got worse and worse to the point where I had to put her on a plane and we went back to our home state and we kind of went our separate ways. We're divorced now, but I don't know, man. That was like my first major love and I was with her for over 4 years. It's hard to like rebuild that trust. It's really hard to like say, hey, I want to go back into a relationship with someone and think that none of this is going to hurt me again. I can be just as open as before, even though like, but I don't know. It's hard to trust someone again with that kind of information. Shit like that hurts. I hope no one thinks they're alone in that way. I'm sure no one thinks that way. But being 24 at this point and divorced, it just feels kind of weird. I don't know. I just feel old and I don't know. I'm going back to school now, so I feel good about that. But I don't know if I'll ever go back into like a serious relationship. Being in a serious relationship just might not be for me. More like I don't know. I just like having friends around me. Cool friends who like to talk about whatever they're interested in. I like meeting a bunch of random people. That's why I'm here on VR chat. Because like everyone around here has completely varying interests between like computers, music. I've met people that are just really into health and like special needs. That's some cool stuff. But like I said, sometimes just being in a relationship is really hard. It's not always good times. Well, how'd you deal with that? Because, like, I get the feeling that being right next to each other all the time, especially when you're fighting, just makes it worse. It feels like there's never something not to fight about. Whether it just be, like, the simplest shit. That's what's really scary to me is that, like, guys are meant to, well, society looks at them like they're supposed to be these strong people that don't really have emotions. But as soon as you go to therapy and you start talking about this kind of stuff, you want to talk about it a little bit more and get your ideas off your chest, but it feels like you're so much more vulnerable in that state. And personally, I never want to be there. Like, I don't ever want to be in that state again. I don't want to give people ammo to hate me again, because that shit just, I'm sorry, I swear a little bit too much. I know that. Been like that for as ever. But yeah, man, being weak is really hard. It's harder than being strong, in my opinion. That's not entirely true. We were in contact for about 2 or 3 weeks because we still really like each other. We know a lot about each other. I know when her birthday is. I know her favorite things. I know what she wants to be. I even saw on Facebook not too long ago that she finally got her degree for primary school teaching, and I was really happy for her. But I just can't talk to her. Like, there's too much baggage that comes with that relationship, and I don't think there's any good way to approach it. It feels pretty bad. I would like to talk to her, but I don't know. It feels like losing a really close friend. We got divorced in July, actually. So, coming March, April, May, June, July. We're like 4 months off of a year. So, I've been 8 months in effectively the same mindset, which I know isn't healthy, but just what I learned. That's going to be a problem I'm going to have to solve, right? Like, you can't enter a relationship just half-hearted. You can't enter and, like, have this whole part of you don't tell someone, especially when you're that close. But for right now, like, I can't be thinking about, like, how I'm gonna please this next person I meet somehow. Right now, it's about me. It's about like how I progress myself as a person, how I build better hobbies, how I don't know, just talk better, I guess. Communication's always been a problem for me, but I'm working on it. Until then, I just have to work on myself, and I'll I'll think about how I go about my next relationship when I start getting to that point. It's not a priority to me. I have friends, and that's what I need. I need friends, not a lover. I've thought about this a lot. Before I even got into the relationship with a girl, I was on a fairly similar course, and like I fell in love, I did stupid things, I started doing badly at school, so I'm like, this isn't working out for me. But I just have to put in the time that I would otherwise be putting in towards someone else and like building that relationship to just build myself, because I want to be the best person I can be. I got to make myself happy, because if I don't do it, I don't think many other people will. I'll surround myself with people that are like-minded, that are cool and interesting people that either talk or, like the mutes I like to play with, don't talk, I guess. So, looking back on it retrospectively, it just from talking to like older couples and stuff too, just being pushed together for that long of period of time, you're gonna find stuff to fight about. If you're asking for my perspective then, straight up, I would say that she's just being a bitch and whining about stuff that isn't really a problem. I can now understand, like, looking back then, some of those things were problems. I do have depression, and it does kill my motivation for certain things. It's very true. Like, I get that, but neither of us handled it well. I didn't handle my problems, she didn't handle hers. And like I said, stuff's like a pressure cooker. If two people have problems like that, it's just gonna be built up unless something changes. At one point, I really appreciate this of her. She actually, she was going to start us on relationship therapy. Like this was right when Corona was starting, so we were gonna do relationship therapy. And I, being the infinite idiot that I am, got really angry at her one day and said, "I'm not doing this with you. I'm not gonna waste my time." And yeah, it's kind of mistakes like that, you know? So, I haven't had a mom since I was real little. That's another story if you want to get into it, but my dad has always been really supportive of me. Like, I could not thank that man anymore. He has been like one of the most foundational people in my life. Not only has he built like 90% of my personality for me, it's just amazing. Like, I have everything to thank for him. Like, he's putting me through school. He's helped me out in every single way he possibly could have. He's gone above and beyond what anyone could ask for a father. He's an awesome dude. I love him. Just for a little bit of context, I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but I lost my mom when I was little. Like, she passed. Yeah. Don't worry about it, man. I'm long past it at this point. I spent plenty of time in the ICU. I know what that stuff looks like, and it's not fun. That's extremely painful to go through, and I know. I used to have friends in the ICU that would go through chemo and therapy and stuff like that. That's not something nice to see. Whether it be a mom, a kid, anything like that. I've had one of my best friends was abused as a child. Like, his parents absolutely messed with him. They were both drug addicts, all of that stuff. And comparing that to my own life, where like I never really had a mom, but I have an awesome dad. It's just really weird to think like you had two parents, and I don't know, both of them mess with you. Like, that's not cool. I don't know how to deal with that comparison. No, go for it. Take your time. Sage.
Hello.
Love is a very fickle thing. It's honestly not something that comes natural. And if it does come natural, that stuff doesn't last very long. Love is something that has to be worked on, and there's always problems with it. You'll never find that perfect, like, compatibility. And even if you do, like, you're gonna have differences somewhere along the way. So, just find someone you like and just be friends with them. I used to go to therapy for depression, but I just kind of gave up on it. Like, they gave me the medication, and I started doing the medication. Didn't really work out. Had some weird problems. I did therapy for a while, but it just, I don't know. I didn't feel like the time was worth what I put into it. So, kind of gave up on that too. That could be the depression speaking in and of itself, huh? Working on yourself is always the priority. If you want to bring someone along with you and you want to help build them up too, that's great, but focus on yourself first. Sounds kind of selfish, but it's what you need to do to be a good person.